Hello, dear students. Let us now study something about childhood, the poem by Marcus Nutton. Marcus Nutton is from Australia, and in this poem, he shows us different stages of the loss of childhood. Now, the loss of childhood is also the loss of simplicity, and the loss of simplicity is at one hand a painful thing because we are not so simple as we lose our childhood, and on the other hand we are not such a fool as we lose our childhood. So somehow, however, we miss the loss of our childhood, all these things, in a very nice way and without over emphasis or without much vehemence, without touching much the sentiments. In a very frank way, the poet has mentioned the about the loss of childhood. Now you know what childhood is. Because we have been children sometime, and you have been a child just a few years ago. But do you know that you are still a child? Reading the poem, perhaps you will understand that you are still a child, and that some people always remain a child, or not in the biological sense of the word, but because they never really grow up. They are never grown up, truly speaking. So this is what the all these things are there in this poem. Now, what is childhood? Childhood is an abstract noun formed from the common noun child, and this shows the state, the condition of being a child. So, when was my childhood lost? Was it when I ceased to be 11? This is what the poet says. What is the relevance of this being ceased to, when he ceased to be 11? What's the relevance of this? Actually, when a boy or girl becomes 13, the teenage begins, and that now uh, individual is a teenager. So you are teenagers. You are 17, 16, 17, 18, 15, someone might be 19. All are teenagers. So this is adolescence, and that age means after 18 one gets the right to vote, uh, and one is supposed to be an adult. So as you are, uh, uh, as you become a teenager, you are not such a child now. You are a teenager. So 12 is the borderline, uh, and from 13 the teenage begins. In this age, one is a boy or girl attains adulthood. So before 12, before that borderline, as long as a boy or girl is 11 years old, uh, that boy or girl is biologically certainly a child. So the poet asks whether that was the date, that was the day of when he turned to be, when she ceased to be 11, he crossed that 11 years of age and reached the borderline of adolescence. Was that the day when he lost his childhood? Of, but he doubts that his simplicity, his childlike behavior, something even childish in him, all that ended at that age. No, he doubts. All right, and so he further says, and then he moves to the next stanza. All right, so in this poem he tries to uh, define childhood, all right, in a different way, that we see that childhood has various aspects. It doesn't have only the biological aspect associated with it. So it has biological aspects, and also it has psychological aspects and also intellectual aspects. We will see further. Thank you.